Hey, and we're back. How you doing? This is Chase Johnson Lynch here at the Liverpool Community Podcast. Phil just turned the screen away from me so I can stop looking at myself. That's all good. But, it's been a while since I've been in the chair. So, it's all good. But once again, we have a very interesting guest for you today. As you know, we do one-on-one interviews here with people from the community that I find interesting and I know that you will find interesting. And this gentleman is no short of that, his story is like a book. It's like Godfather Part 1, though. So, welcome, Tommy Cashen from Cabs Kids. How you doing, Tommy?
I'm doing very well, thank you, Chase, and thanks for having me today.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's been very interesting, I'm talking with you, Tommy. And before we get into your origin story and stuff like that, Cabs Kids, it's an acronym. So it's an acronym for?
So kids, activities and boot camps. Doesn't do us justice, to be fair, but that's our name. That's our name.
Cute. Like baby kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So give us an idea around it because it's fitness. It's but it's more than that.
Yeah, basically what we're trying to do is work with children, young people, vulnerable adults, as many as we can to try and improve and change lives.
Yeah.
Our real aim is to try and improve them and develop them physically, emotionally, intellectually, socially, spiritually and mentally through team building, problem solving tasks, exercise, fitness. We do lots of mental health workshops. Yeah. We do lots of forest school activities, mindfulness, meditation type sessions. So it's all with a view to try and improve and change lives, as I've said before.
Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot on the tin, And what I thought was really interesting is that, how you managed to create some very interesting projects during lockdown. Everybody remembers that, Holocaust period of our lives.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like one of the things that was in your period of change, wasn't it? Because you were doing these kind of team building exercises online.
Yeah.
But I thought it was interesting how you were helping people, work with just elements that are in their own homes. So tell us a little bit.
Yeah, it was actually a period of growth, which we never thought would come at that period of time.
Nobody did.
No, but we seen that there was people struggling, loneliness, didn't have much to do at home. So what we decided to do was go online, live, Facebook, Instagram, and start developing team building tasks for the whole family to do and participate in. But do it on a live basis, so they'll watch us do it, they'll get involved themselves, and they'll, as you've mentioned, use anything what they've got at their disposal at home. For example, coat hangers, robes, just anything what they've got, and just to give them, that time out of the day and give them some structure, some routine, something to feel good about.
Me, I like chair dancing.
Yeah.
So but then there's also chair yoga. So hey, look, I could just sit in the chair and just lift my leg. But being guided through.
Sure can't dance.
Sure can't dance. You know what? That's Phil's personal opinion. I need you to know I can dance, I can sing, so always ignore Phil. Anyway. No, he's trying to take me off topic. So either way, we look at it, Tommy, is that what you managed to not just do this on your own online and all that, but you've been in about 60 some odd schools.
Yeah.
And you've also been able to take cabs across the country, from Liverpool down to London. That's a tremendous effort, what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything else like that. Give it an example, of some of the schools you've been in, because some people might be out there and say, "Hey, I went to that school."
Yeah, well, in our city, we've been in King's Leadership for about 5 years. Quite a multicultural school.
Yeah.
Some of the children there couldn't really communicate much, but we've done that through the team building, through the you know, the team tasks, what we were doing. And what was great about that school, as an individual school, obviously, the way they helped each other, that team ethos, different cultures, different languages coming together and working as a team. You know, that was fantastic to see. Lots of schools in St Helens, schools in Knowsley, Holsmead, St Helens, Carmel Primary School, St John Vianney.
Been out Cheshire Oaks.
Merton Bank, Cheshire Oaks. We had one of our first schools called the Oaks, which was amazing school. Some schools just get us in for single days every summer to do transition periods. So year 6 is going into year 7. You know, hundreds of children who don't know each other, they get cabs in. And what we do is try to develop them friendships that build that cohesion and give that confidence and that nature that they go in the same direction, and this is the start of their journey together.
But what's great is that you also, sometimes you bring the parents in.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you also work with the teachers.
For sure,
it's not. I mean, even though it's called Cabs Kids, you're all ages, aren't you?
Oh yeah, for sure. We do lots of wellbeing workshops with teaching staff, corporate team building wellbeing, full family boot camps we've done as well, which is boot camps.
That's got to be amazing. The bringing a family together through exercise and nutrition. Weight management. Yeah,
that's one of my previous roles, which I have incorporated to obviously deliver in cabs. However, just seeing a family working together is amazing. See them smiling together, not worrying about the stresses of life. You know, we've got plenty of them, and they couldn't climb it, but just letting their hair down and working together and smiling, laughing together and achieving together. It's fantastic.
I mean, no, I mean, it just sounds great. It sounds so like inspiring, and I mean, I think at this point, you know, like, I want to like kind of like navigate your origin story, because you know Tommy has a very interesting like past, because it would be like, what kind of person is Tommy Cashen, who you know is not just you know working for others, but like you know like where does he come from? So it's like in your journey, you know, like in that aspect. I mean, you started out as a wild child, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, nearly got kicked out of school. Quite an angry young man. Didn't know how to.
Who can't relate to that?
Yeah. I was on the verge of getting kicked out, but I found a real passion in boxing for KBABC.
Right.
Yeah, which effectively stopped me getting kicked out of school, because I was channeling that negative energy in a positive way.
You got to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that led you into that whole physical stuff and everything else like that, you know. And but I guess you didn't go into the middleweight or bantamweight, whatever. Phantom. That shows you what Chase knows about boxing. It didn't lead you down to sports. It led you into the army, didn't it?
Yeah, it's something I always wanted to do. You know, I had a real passion. Every party I went to, I was fancy dress. I was a soldier. My dad was in the TA, Paras TA. So I had this kit on every party. But yeah, 16, done an army prep course, and then went straight into the Harrogate, which was for junior soldiers, junior leaders.
Wow.
And done 12 months there before doing a combat infantryman's course. Got best recruit on that, and then went into the 1st Battalion, the King's Regiment, which was a Liverpool, Manchester regiment. Yeah.
I mean, like at 16, you know, like your life must have been like really kind of like turning around, you know, in that aspect, you know. But like, you know, can't really say too much about it. But like, you know, you went into like a whole different avenue when you were in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done a number of operations. Was in the King's boxing team, so I was part of the Army champions, Grade 3 boxing champions, and then became a physical training instructor. So I was in charge of keeping the soldiers combat ready and helping out with discipline and things like that.
I just thought it was just interesting as a young man to be able to, you know, like, I mean, a lot of times we would think that, okay, you're going to go into the army and then that means I'm going to be an infantryman. I'm going to be in the trench somewhere, you know, dirt all over me and doing all this stuff. And, you know, to, you know, do other activities. I guess we'll have to read the book
yeah. When it's ready.
Find
when it's
out
ready.
more about that. Don't worry, we're not going to take because we don't want to get killed. So like, we come out of the army there, bro. Tommy, unfortunately, there's the real life scenario of because you didn't have any GCSEs and stuff like that. So, after serving serving time. After being in the army, you found yourself, okay, now what I'm going to do.
Yeah, the transition
doing
was
very different, like jobs and stuff.
Yeah, it was horrendous, to be fair. The transition coming out, I turned to alcohol, if I'm honest, and I think if I would have carried on down that route, I wouldn't be here to tell the tale.
Yeah.
But it's another one of them sort of experiences which is contributing to helping others now.
Yeah, but obviously, though, I mean, like, okay, you figure, okay, I got to do physical things, so you did security guards, and stuff. I thought was interested about being a door salesman,
Yeah.
but then you ended up on the doors in Liverpool. I love when you said that because this is kind of like when we will all look at a guy, you kind of like look like a guy who would be on the doors in Liverpool, and then it's like, well, what's your story? And then that's what I like about this is how you're so dedicated to helping others and everything. And like, if I took the time to talk to a doorsman, I would hope that he'd be like yourself. And, having that kind of story. But, I think there was a person that you said that really, was important into your development and into your change and stuff, if you want to give a shout out and stuff.
Oh yeah, my sister Adele, she's my hero. She's been there my whole life, to be fair, and guided me where I am today. Yeah, and she was massively important in that transitional period, and got me my first break in working with children and young people. So without that support, without Adele, there'd be no cabs.
No, exactly. But then again, it's that whole thing about like, it's you don't think, so somewhere down the line I'm going to be working with kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And then it's going to not only change their lives but mine and enrichment and stuff. So like when she set that up, but now what I thought was interesting, this might be one of those other like kind of like no-go areas. I don't know. Find out. But you ended up like working in what some people call like a secure unit.
Yeah, I was on a Red Bank community home. It's called secure unit. I've done 9 years in that secure unit.
Whoa, that's like I went for 9 years.
Yeah,
but I was on the other side. But because you were able to start what you're being doing now, because you were devising programs and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just say a little bit about kind of like what you can say about like the young people, that you had to work with.
Well, there's no black and white. There's only grey stories, or everyone had their own story. Lots of the children, young people who came into Red Bank who were locked up for various reasons. Some included murder.
Wow.
You just read the files on these children, young people, and you go, that's why you're here. You didn't have a chance. Yeah. Trauma, sort of meeting trauma, if you like, or building on developing and growing up a young person through trauma. So it's lots of these children, young people were brought up by parents who'd actually experienced trauma themselves. So it was like, wow, how do we change this?
See, what I think is amazing about this is the fact that when you mentioned it, is that like, if I were reading the paper, when they had papers, or when I would watch the news and, like a person had committed a crime, armed crime or whatever, we forget about them. Like, it's a story, and then they're put away, and then they're out of our minds. But, like, they're actually also people.
Yeah.
And so they came into a unit like yours, but they encountered a man like you and everything, and you were able to like see them as people, as you were saying. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, obviously we had to read the files to ensure everyone was safe, to see the risk factors, but then you put that to the back of your mind, and then you see this young person.
Yeah.
And that's what they were, young people.
Exactly.
And we used to work with what was in front of us. We used to treat them like young people.
Yeah.
You know, give them incentives, be assertive when we needed to be, but also just try and develop and help them to grow, nurture them, guide them, support them. Yeah, empower them to believe that there's more out there than what they've seen so far, and try and just patch them up if we can.
Yeah, I think that's a good word because I mean, obviously, you know, the main thing about it is the fact that like, you know, to be able to also hopefully, you know, reach them. I don't know if any of them were released and stuff like that, depending on the crime or whatever. But if they were, that's what you're talking about. Is like how can they actually get back into society?
For sure,
like
for
those
sure.
kind of transferable skills and stuff.
Yeah.
And everything. So I mean, like, but then unfortunately, after about 9 years, it made redundant. Like, you know, a lot of people had to face and stuff, and you're on your Todd.
Yeah,
Look at that! I know that scout.
back on my Todd out there. Yeah, back out there, and then I did have another stint in a care home for a short period, and then started with a weight management company, More Life, and then moved on to Commando Joe's, working with veterans, fellow veterans.
Commando Joe.
Yeah.
You know what? I love that name, man. You know what I mean? Go ahead. So you worked with them, I think, for about like 2 years. And yeah,
It was about five.
5
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
2 schools, I think it says.
2 schools. I was with. I was one of the only instructors to maintain 2 schools for 5 years. Because of me innovative approach, because of me forever evolving program, and seeing the gaps and trying to fill them, trying to help individuals and obviously groups as well.
Did it sort of inspire you to kind of like sit down and think about CAPS?
For sure. My path and my story is different than the guy who sort of started Commando Joe's. I could see myself doing the same job, but coming from a different perspective and a different angle. So that's where I started thinking about, shall I do this myself? Shall I help start at my home place, my birthplace, Merseyside, and then see what I can do, see how many people I can help and save effectively.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, you at your first session, you had like about 50 people.
Yeah, that was
Where the hell did 50 people come from?
Yeah. Yeah. That was on a boot camp. So we started boot camps, and had 50 adults turn up on the first day, and that was quite it kind of stayed sort of them similar numbers and started to grow. Yeah. And then obviously we had lockdown, have you talked about before?
Yeah.
Which threw a span in the works, so we had to go online then, digital, and try and find out how to work iPads and YouTube, and and that was pretty hard for me.
Yeah. I mean, using them devices, bro, and stuff. But you're clever enough to figure that out because I mean, CABS has grown, and then 60 schools.
60 schools,
That's
yeah.
a lot,
yeah.
And then also you've been involved with the HALF project. We ourselves have been involved with the HALF program and everything. So it's that's where I was trying to say is that I think you've grown to like where you had like 2 other directors, you had like some volunteer staff and everything on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But then tragedy strikes again. This is a drama. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if you don't want the book, get the movie made. But either way you look at it is, this is sad though. Either way you look at it, and I don't want to make too light of it, but as most people, tragedy hit in March and stuff.
Yeah,
a little bit about it.
Yeah. I had a breakdown, and funnily enough, it started Christmas before, so just last Christmas. Started feeling a bit shaky, dizzy. Went to doctors, and they said it was vertigo.
Vertigo?
Yeah, but it was my mental state. It was shocking through my body. It had to come out.
Whoa.
All my traumas I've experienced, all my experiences, things I haven't dealt with, which I thought I did.
Now this is called cellular memory.
Yeah.
Anything like that, but it's all good. But.
So March I ended up, on my back, ringing the crisis team to come and get me. Wow. And then just at that moment, another life-changing thing. my wife's my wife parted our ways as well. So I was dealing with two things. Obviously, I already had PTSD, depression, anxiety anyway, but not to this level. It just exploded. And in them 6 months, 7 months, I haven't been in work. And it was all about learning about me, healing, deep healing, something that I've never done to the level I have. And I'd say in the last 6 months, I've actually learned who I am more than the last 16 years.
Kind of like a spiritual journey.
A transition. Yeah.
Which is a whole different thing for you because you weren't a spiritual person growing up, I believe you said. So,
didn't believe in it.
Yeah, well, this is what happens. We always need these kind of like moments to hit us. But there's something about people who can survive these moments, which you're one of those people, But you have your own physical angel that came in once again.
Yeah, my sister Adele, yeah.
So what did she do?
Well, when I was literally lying in bed and I couldn't get out of bed. Yeah, and I even said to my brother-in-law, who's also a veteran. He works with veterans. He said to me, I said to him, sorry, I don't think I can come back from this, Brian, because he's seen me in some states. And he actually told me on my recovery that I didn't think he was going to come back the way he see me. But my sister was coming around doing Reiki on me and life coaching me alongside my old boxing coach and life coach, Robbie Butler. He's got Rydell Gym round the corner there. Just having good people around me, pushing the bad people away, and doing good things for me, working on me, meditation, audio books, journal writing, exercise and fitness. Even though I didn't want to do it, I was dragging myself through it. I even done a veterans retreat with Bootcamps CIC for 4 nights, which was a real changing sort of experience and a transition. And that there's a video on YouTube for that as well, which is for any veterans out there kind of thing. But as I say, the last 6 months, it's just been an absolute transition. My toolbox was big. I was helping other people anyway, but I feel now it's massive. I'm ready to come back into work. I'm ready to... Cabs is back.
Cabs is back.
Cabs is back.
That was my...
Yeah, it was, sorry.
It's okay. But, no, listen, I mean, I just think that it's amazing that, like, and I'm hoping that people will find it amazing, those who know you and those who want to know you, is just that the journey is hard, but the destination is worth it.
For sure.
Oh, my God. Yeah, somebody cap cut that.
Yeah.
But no, because like, a lot of people would probably maybe feel, oh, I can't do this, give up and everything. But you're a person who hasn't, you made a much sterner stuff and everything,
Yeah. Part of that spiritual journey, what you're talking about, I've got this belief that I was meant to go through all of these things.
Well, of course, but this is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
These things are learning.
Yeah.
Not only just learning puzzles for ourselves, but for others, because then they find a path to follow.
Yeah.
It's like being a torch bringer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in saying that, in taking cabs outside of Liverpool, like you've done, I was asking, how did you pretty much branch out, like to places like London, and you were talking about virtual head teachers. So tell us a little bit about that.
So it's just head teachers who I've worked with previously. They've seen the impacts, they've seen the changes, seen improvements in schools, individuals. They've seen that approach, and they've moved to different places, and they want to bring us with them. I
think that's just fantastic when people could recognize the work you're doing, and then say, hey, look, come with us. Yeah. It's a real honour, to be able to go to any place, work with any young person or any, in that case, sound seekers as well. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, because you were saying how that was an amazing feeling for you when you did that project.
Yeah, we were asked to work with unaccompanied sound seekers, refugees, some of whom have got amazing stories. You say that in a way where not so amazing for them.
No.
But the end product where they are now, seeing the smiles on their faces, some have travelled for 2 years to get to the UK.
Yeah.
And been through an horrendous, and I mean horrendous sort of journey, which I'm not going to go into,
No, of course not. We
But
can't do that because that's what the book is for.
yeah. But then they come out the other side, and they've come to the UK, and they're getting that sort of that nature support guidance to try and sort of give them a path
Yeah.
into building their own life, a happier life.
Yeah. No, definitely, but this is also kind of like, I guess, altering your path to the present now, because with you finding that, now that, your sister focusing a lot more on well-being. I think, what did she call it? Well-being Wednesdays?
Oh yeah, me sister again. We've got our heads together finally.
Yeah.
And we now deliver, or we are going to be delivering. Adele has already done a number of them. Wellbeing Wednesdays. So any corporate organisations who've got high levels of sickness, people don't know how to look after themselves. People are on the rat race. People are just
constantly on a treadmill, aren't they?
yeah, they just people need to slow down and listen to themselves. One thing my life coach said to me, he said, "Tommy, who's the most important person in your house?" And I went, "My kids." And he went, "No, it's you." I said, "It's you. If you look after yourself, if you nurture yourself, you give yourself that self-care, your kids are going to benefit from that. So why don't you get yourself where you need to be, and them children will just flourish and get the best version of you."
You're always being watched.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that was very good advice. And so this brings us to kind of like, how can people find you there, Tommy? So this is where we get to our social media handles, and stuff like that. So tell us, like, how can people find you?
So kids activities and boot camps.
For one reason, one long word, but still.
Yeah.
And that's "and" with the A and D, but we'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. So kids activities and boot camps. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. Obviously Thomas Cashen as well. So you'll see me. You'll get a more personal view on some of the stuff I've done as an individual. We've got obviously our website as well, cabs-fitness.co.uk. And you can actually make bookings on our website.
Any pictures on there or videos on there?
Yeah, there's lots of content. There's if you want to make a booking or you want to just inquire about what we do, the services, we're more than happy to come out and talk about our services, or we can send a brochure as well with lots of the content and services what we provide.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, this has been a fascinating interview, Tommy. I definitely appreciate you coming in. I want to give a shout out to a mutual friend, Kathy Conley.
Kathy.
That's probably how you found us. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know if Phil was already when I did that, so I'll do it again. But no, I know it just really sounds interesting, man. And I wish you luck in your journey or your continuing journey, because that's what you kind of said. There's no book because it's not over yet.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready.
That's why I told you, Godfather, Part 1. You know what I mean? Think that way, Tommy, because you gotta you can't hold it back. Cabs Kids CIC, a great organization. Is it free to put? No, it's not, obviously. But we'll find that out on the website.
Yeah, we have lots of funding avenues. Also, schools have to pay through budgets and things like that. But that's all that information is there.
That's cool. And everything. And but yeah, so if you want to know about the man behind the boot camp, I'm pretty sure when he actually does his stuff, you probably go into more of those stories, don't you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, Tommy Cashen, for coming into our studio. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy my green afro behind me. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, all right. Well, we out of here.